What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Friday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup, where I think it's fair to say we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be discussing the future of Andy Robertson as he closes in a potential move to Spurs. We're going to be talking about Cody Gakpo's Bayern Munich show interest there. I'll be telling you about some of the big names that the Saudi Pro League want to make a move for, and lots more over the next few minutes. But as always, we do want to know your thoughts. So let us know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course I hope to see you back here tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda, where we'll go through it all in far more detail. Right, to kick us off, let's start off with this Ben Jacobs exclusive. And Ben writes that the Saudi Pro League are targeting 50 foreign names in a new wave of business planned after the World Cup. Mohamed Salah, Robert Lewandowski, Vinny Jr., Martinelli and Fernandes all on the list for 2026, also likely to see Al Hilal's sale and significant investment in another Saudi Pro League side, Diriyah. So as you can see, the Saudi Pro League are certainly aiming to add more big names there, and there's another piece from this that said Emiliano has a long-standing relationship with Mohamed Salah, the guy who does the acquisitions at the Saudi Pro League, and be one of the driving forces on the timing behind any formal move for Salah, even though interested clubs can have to date made direct approaches towards Mohamed Salah's camp, so can and have made those direct approaches. Liverpool insist they want Mohamed Salah to see out his contract until 2027, but a 2026 departure could nonetheless suit all parties, especially if the Anfield club are intent on signing a right-sided attacker. So again, it looks as if the Mohamed Salah situation is one to keep an eye on, maybe not in this window, but certainly for the summer. Now, the Deloitte Football Money League has come out, and I'll talk about it in more depth tonight in the late night agenda, but there has been 12.4 billion, which they say is a new record revenue generated by the 2026 Money League clubs in this Deloitte Money League. Also an 11% growth on revenue generated by the 2025 clubs in that Deloitte Money League. And as I mentioned, I will go through a lot of that in far more detail tonight on the late night agenda. Now, let's talk Bayern Munich and Cody Gakpo. And I wish I was sitting here today, folks, talking about incomings, because we all know that's what we need. And the fact that I'm sitting here now talking about an interest in Gakpo and the potential departure of Andy Robertson, as well as, of course, maybe Costa's coming back, is driving me nuts. It really is making me so angry that I'm having to talk about Robertson's potential departure in this window, but we'll get to that in a moment. Bayern Munich are exploring left-wing options after Yan Diamonde's rejection. Cody Gakpo is a name repeatedly discussed internally. Max Erbel is a big fan, and Bayern believe Bundesliga would sue Cody Gakpo. No talks yet, but 75 million is seen as feasible, reports Bayern space. So, I don't know, what are we saying, folks? 75 million euro, which is about 65 million pound for Cody Gakpo? I think I know the answer to this one, but we'll do it in tonight's late night agenda as a poll and see what you guys are thinking. Now, Connor touched on this earlier on, but more stuff has come out as the day have gone on about the Andy Robertson situation. The Spurs Express say there's a desire on all sides to get a deal done quickly for Andy Robertson to join Spurs. Then we had David Ornstein, who came out and said, exclusive, Tottenham Hotspur working on a deal to sign Andy Robertson from Liverpool. Spurs brought forward plans for the 31-year-old left-back as a free agent this summer. Not done, but talks between all parties advancing to reach an agreement. Fabrizio Romano then said negotiations underway between Andy Robertson and Spurs and Liverpool for that deal to happen. The two clubs are in contact, and Spurs want the Scottish left-back after Ben Davies' injury, as per The Athletic. Talks continue. We move on. Florian Plettenberg said Tottenham Hotspur are now pushing to sign Andy Robertson with immediate effect after the Athletic story. Understand a verbal agreement is done and clubs are now in negotiations. Now, the way this was most likely going to work, folks, I can imagine, is that Liverpool will let Andy Robertson go to Spurs and will probably recall Costas back from Roma. Let me be very clear about this from the get-go. Not good enough. Nowhere near good enough. Not acceptable. I am absolutely open to Andy Robertson deciding his own future, and I have no ill feelings whatsoever towards Robbo if he decides he wants to go in search of more first-team football. But from a club perspective, in a window where we needed to add defensive strength, how is letting your vice-captain go 6 months early, supposed to convince us that we have a true belief that we're going to be successful to win something this season. It makes no sense. We're talking about a left back who can play left centre back. We're talking about a club vice captain. We're talking about somebody with so much experience at the club, and we haven't even succession planned. We're allowing him to walk out the door. Now, Costas, of course, could come back in, and Milos Kerkez has been fantastic this season. But what if Milos picked up an injury? I know I'd feel comfortable relying on Andy Robertson for the rest of the season, but I'm supposed to feel comfortable relying on a player that can't get a game at Roma in Costas? Again, you've got to question, outside of Andy Robertson maybe wanting the move, which again, I fully respect and believe that he deserves. But from our perspective, bringing Costas back would not be good enough. We'd need to go out there and do some proper business to shore up our defence. We cannot let the defensive numbers slip. It's madness. On that, Spanish outlet El Nacional have said that Alvaro Arbeloa has sat down with Trent Alexander-Arnold for a frank conversation, telling him to leave Madrid for his own good in the summer transfer window. He also said that he isn't in Real's long-term plans and it's purely a sporting decision regarding the departure potentially of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, you'd have to say whoever advised him of that move and whoever convinced him it was a good idea, idiots, the lot of them. And I don't say that flippantly, I do mean idiots. Right, so James Ollie has said Arsenal are exploring the possibility of launching a summer move for Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid. Atletico would demand a fee in excess of €100 million this summer, which would work out with about £86 million if they were willing to sell. Barcelona are also in the mix, but unlikely to be able to compete at those prices. Now, what will be interesting to see here is if he does want to move back to the Premier League. Because remember, we didn't make a move because we believed he didn't want to move back to the Premier League. And I wonder if that would still stand, or maybe if the bright lights of London would change Alvarez's mind. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, a couple more bits on Robbo. Negotiations underway with the player open to moving to Tottenham, said Fabrizio Romano. Breaking, Liverpool set to approach Roma to recall Costas if Andy Robertson moves to Spurs, said Ben Jacobs. Robertson has told Liverpool he's keen on a move. No formal recall clause in Costas' loan, but sources close to the player have made it clear he wants to return to Liverpool. I am starting to lose my damn mind, folks. I really am. How are this club preparing for success? What on earth is happening behind the scenes? This makes no sense to me, apart from Robertson maybe wanting to move. But if we haven't got our own house in order, come on. Surely you agree with me on this one. How are we supposed to believe we're aiming for success this season when we keep undermining ourselves in the transfer market? No centre-back brought in, and one viable option being allowed to walk out the door. I will see you guys at 8:45 for the late night agenda, but until then, I really am interested to know your thoughts. Prepare for me coming in hot tonight, because I don't think it's going to be a calm one. We'll see you then. Much love, and if I don't have a wonderful weekend, I hope to see you tomorrow. Remember, we'll be live from 4:15 for the watch along of the Bournemouth game. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.